Before we get this video started, don't forget to give me a thumbs up for these little puppies. Say hi, guys. Give me a thumbs up. Say, give me a thumbs up. What's going on, guys? It's Investing Hustler here, and today we have some big news on Aurora Cannabis. But before we get started, I want to ask you guys to give me a thumbs up, and if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe because I upload almost daily. So today we're going to be looking at Aurora Cannabis charts, and I'm going to be talking about a pattern that I saw forming. Before we get started, I want to show you guys this video. So this video was posted on April 3rd, and as you can see right here, I'm talking about this triangle pattern, and I was talking about whether Aurora is going to have a breakthrough in the upward direction or the downward direction. And this was on April 3rd. So today is April 5th. And as you can see, Aurora had a breakthrough because we were squeezing into this triangle. If you guys want to learn a little more about this pattern, you guys can check out this video titled Big News on Aurora Cannabis and Planet 13, where I get into a little more detail about this pattern. But as you can see, Aurora Cannabis had a breakthrough in the upward direction. So this breakthrough wasn't just simply because of this triangle pattern, but that's usually what happens when you start to see a triangle forming. You see a company have a breakthrough in the upward or downward direction, but a lot of this had to do with some big news with Aurora Cannabis today. So the big news, I'm going to get into that right now. But before we get started, I just want to talk about how right now we have a gap up. So this gap might get filled because there was a huge gap all the way from $11.91. And Aurora Cannabis went all the way up to $12.44 in the morning, slowly started filling in that gap. We're going to see how Aurora plays out throughout the rest of the day. So on to the big news for Aurora Cannabis. So Aurora Cannabis stock is up because it just won a big marijuana deal in Germany. So Aurora Cannabis stock got a boost Friday after the marijuana company announced it was one of the 3 firms selected to cultivate and distribute medical cannabis in Germany. So the company was awarded the maximum number of 5 of the 13 lots on a tender over a period of 4 years with a minimum supply of 4,000 kilograms total. So it's not that much, but that is the minimum supply. The cannabis produced will be sold to the German government and supplied to wholesalers for distribution in pharmacies. So we are proud to have been selected as one of the only 3 companies by the German government, which is a great achievement by our team, said Neil Bella, Chief Global Business Development Officer. Hopefully Aurora continues to push, and if we go back to these charts, Aurora Cannabis is still currently uptrending. I'm just glad we had a breakthrough in the upward direction. But either way, for the rest of the video, I have a collaboration with Departures Capital. So I hope you guys enjoy. Once again, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and enjoy this collab. And today, me and Aaron, we're going to talk about Aurora Cannabis. First, do you want to start off with a chart analysis, or do you want to go straight to the article?
Let's take a look at the charts first, then we can get into the news. I think it'd be good to take a look at things.
As you can see right here, we have Aurora charts coming up. We've been uptrending lately, but in the past, it looks like in the past 3 days, we've been downtrending. And as you can see right here, we kind of have a triangle pattern forming. And most of my viewers already know this by now, but once we start squeezing into this triangle pattern, usually what happens is we're going to see a breakthrough. So we might see a breakthrough downwards or upwards for Aurora Cannabis. We are also approaching this bottom support here. So what do you think, Aaron? What do you think is going to happen with Aurora? I'm not sure if you're familiar with these patterns. What do you see, or what do you think about this pattern that's forming right now?
You're definitely right. It looks like it's, I guess you could say, a descending triangle.
Yeah.
If that would be correct.
Yeah.
And I think Aurora is getting really close to support. I know that a lot of people were talking about support right in and around 1170, 1180. I believe it was somewhere right in there. Personally, what I think is going to drive Aurora is news. And the longer that it doesn't come out with big news, the more it could just keep downtrending. Because essentially it's been downtrending since, well, it's been pulling back since 1350, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because we've been making lower highs, but we've kind of used this line as a support, which is why we formed this triangle pattern.
Yeah, so 1180, 1170, 1180, you're pretty much right on, I think. So let's talk worst case scenario first. I don't mean to be a bear, but let's just see where we think Aurora could go if they don't really get the news they want, or the market kind of goes sideways, because MJ hasn't been performing that well based on the S&P 500, especially on the last couple of green days.
Yeah.
Like cannabis has kind of just been drifting, trending lower, which is kind of a sign that the sector might be just getting tired.
Yeah, it's possible. Well, worst case scenario, we're gonna have a breakthrough in the downward direction, and
Yep.
I'm hoping that we do. We still have a previous resistance here at around 1070, and I'm
Mhm.
hoping that acts as a support line and it bounces off that. But
Yeah. So one thing to say about the $10, $10 level is like, I know the majority of Peltz's options are like, oh, his option to buy stock is above 10. So it'd be in his best interest for ACB not to go below 10.
yeah, exactly. And
Because
maybe
like,
I could try to pull up American charts so we could give them prices in American dollars because I know we both have a lot of viewers from the United States.
yeah. No, that's true for sure.
Have you checked your American viewers?
Yeah, it's higher than Canadian now.
Same here. I think I have like 68% American and 30
Wow.
something Canadian.
Mine's like 50 something percent. I don't know where the other 20% comes from because I've got like 50 some percent US and 30% some Canadian. But
Maybe spread out through the world.
probably, yeah, that's cool.
World loves you. So
Hopefully Asia
hopefully
does.
my lines are up for the American. I don't know why my lines always disappear, but as you can see right here, the triangle's forming
Yep.
either way, which is at around, we have a support right here at around 885. I had lines ready for this, and then they just keep disappearing. So this is the support line we've pretty much been bouncing off. And we're approaching it right now. Hold on, I'm gonna change colors. Maybe this might take too long. And then right here we have the triangle pattern.
Yeah, so
Not going to be as detailed as my Canadian one because I don't know why they always disappear. So we still have the same pattern here in the American side
mhm.
with support at around 885. We have a previous resistance line here at around $8. So I guess worst case scenario, if we do have a breakthrough in the downward direction, we could possibly see Aurora go down to $10, $8 American. So
And there is still that gap that we're getting closer to, right?
yeah, and that would mean that we filled this gap that we've. Are you talking about this gap right
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would mean that we filled the gap. But and then that would also mean that we are no longer uptrending because
Hmm.
we are
Hmm.
still currently uptrending because we're still bouncing off this line. Best case
Yeah.
scenario, obviously we get closer to the edge of this triangle, and then we have a breakthrough in the upward direction, which would mean that we're still uptrending. That would be best case scenario. Everyone would be happy to see that.
Yeah, of course. Now it's just a matter of Peltz showing like why he's there, and
Yeah.
can he get the deal? I think really like that's the last big opportunity in the short term for ACB is to get the either beverage deal or consumer products deal, something like that from a big
Mhm.
company that invests a lot of money in them. That's why ACB still, my biggest position. It's the one stock I'm holding. I'm not selling any of it, and just like whatever, I'll ride it out until something happens to it.
Well, I did make a prediction that I do think Aurora Cannabis will make a deal before October 2019.
Yeah,
Is that's when CBD and edibles finally become legal in Canada.
that would make sense. And if it takes that long, though, the stock could go anywhere. Like,
That would be good because it would create a buying opportunity for those who missed out, and
yeah,
obviously those who are holding, they might just have to hold on a little longer.
no, for sure. If ACB pulls back enough, I'll definitely add more to it. But yeah, I'm okay. Like, I mean, if it pulls back again, whatever. Like, you can't predict the future, right? So pull back, buy a little more, and then otherwise, I'm just holding.
Yeah, and the main reason for this pullback is the recent news about Aurora taking that I think $750 million, and they're planning to dilute more shares to build more equity. What do you think about that?
I forget what the article was, but I read that for sure. And they didn't take it out yet, but they have
Yeah,
the option to, right? It didn't affect the stock that much,
yeah,
but
they only went down 2.5%, I think, yesterday.
yeah,
But
yeah. Of course, dilution will always be ACB's downfall. They just need to keep proving that they're doing something with that money. Like when they dilute, when they add more shares, they just need to keep proving. But I mean,
anyways, that's it for these charts. Hopefully, best case scenario, we bounce off this support line right here. We continue the uptrend. We have a breakthrough in the upward direction.
mm,
and we continue trading in between these two lines, then that would mean that Aurora is still uptrending. If they continue this uptrend pattern, that means Aurora will most likely hit $14 by mid-April or May.
Mhm.
But if this uptrend does break, then who knows where we're heading? Hopefully down to this support, and then worst case scenario, if it breaks through that support, we might even see Aurora go as low as $8. But we can't even talk about those prices until we break this current support.
Yeah, I want to talk about the new news with the BMO, the BMO person that was hired. The what was it? Sorry, management team to support strategic initiatives. So if you want, I got two articles. BMO investment banker. Sorry, guys. So if you want me to share my screen, I can do that. I'll read the article. Aurora Cannabis hires BMO investment banker to lead corporate development and strategy. So I'll cover it until this paragraph, and you can go. So Aurora Cannabis expands management team to support strategic initiatives. Aurora Cannabis today announced that the company has appointed Carrie Squires as its Executive Vice President for Corporate Development and Strategy. In this newly created role, reporting to the Executive Chairman, Mr. Squires, in collaboration with senior executives across the company, will focus on global growth and partnership strategies and investor development. Mr. Squires comes to Aurora with global investment banking experience, having most recently served as Managing Director and Co-Head of Equity-Linked Capital Markets for BMO Capital Markets. In this role, he successfully led the financing for a number of issuers, including Aurora's recent convertible notes offering. Mr. Squires receives a BSc from the University of British Columbia, as well as an MBA from the Rotman School of Management at the University of Toronto. So it sounds like they've got a pretty interesting dude on the board or on the team now. So you can take over.
So with deep experience in the US and Canadian capital markets, Carrie has been a trusted advisor to Aurora on a variety of growth initiatives, including our recently successful capital raise. In this new position, Carrie will be a core member of Aurora's senior management team, executing on the development of key strategic initiatives, including partnership and M&A opportunities.
Yeah.
So we look forward to working closely with Carrie to leverage his extensive knowledge in the execution of our investor development, international growth, and partnership strategies, sourcing potential accretive opportunities in the global cannabis industry, and negotiating favorable business transactions. We know enough about Aurora.
Pretty short article, which is nice because we get the news, and then
well, the company is only as good as the team that runs it. So.
Exactly. So those all seem like positives for Aurora. I mean, I've always believed in their management. Cam Batley's a great face for Aurora. Now they've got Nelson Peltz and this guy. So I mean,
yeah,
I think they're taking the steps in the right direction.
Anyways, that's it for now. We'll be keeping an eye out on Aurora Cannabis. I'll be definitely keeping an eye on this pattern. Hopefully we have a breakthrough in the upward momentum, in the upward direction. And that's it for now, guys. If you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to leave us a thumbs up, hit that notification bell, subscribe to me, subscribe to Departures Capital. And that's it for now, guys. Bye-bye.